All right, guys, another day, another couple of sales. We had one go out in Depop and we had one go out in Macari. Let me flip the camera around and I'll show you guys what sold. Here is the two items that sold. You'll have to excuse the shadow. I'm having to use the light today. But we had a purse sale. Is the sack. This sold on Depop. I have my little cheat sheet here. We paid $5 for this purse. The buyer all in plus shipping was $15.99, so we made $14.70 on this. This is a set of Parker knives. This sold on Macari. We paid $2 for these. Buyer was all in plus shipping at $18.39, and we made $15.76 on these. It's another day and another item has sold on eBay. Now this item sold on our normal main eBay store, not the new eBay store. So let's flip the camera around and I'll show you guys what we sold. Here is the item that sold for us last night. Let me give you the breakdown on it. So this item, we paid $2 for this at an estate sale, and the buyer all in plus shipping paid $33.02, and we made $19.38 on this item. So let's get it packed up and shipped off. Another day, another couple sales. Let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what sold today. Here are the two items that we sold today. Up first is a pair of Twisted X shoes. These were actually my shoes I bought. I've had them for years and I just stopped wearing them. So I thought, hey, why not go ahead and list them, see what we can get. We paid $0 for them because they were mine. Buyer all in was at $62.89 and we made $38.78 on these. So very not bad. Next one, again, this is 2 bags. They were mine. I've had those again for years and just don't use these anymore. So I went ahead and listed them. So we paid nothing. Buyer all in was at $26.69 and we made $12.49. So not too bad. Now that is the buyer all in including shipping. So that's what sold today. So let's get it packed up and shipped out. Another day, another sale. Well, couple sales. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you guys what sold today. Here are the items that sold. We had a AJ Green, I think that's what it is, jersey sale. Both of these items sold on Macari. So on this one right here, we paid $7.99 for this. The buyer all in plus shipping paid $4.99, so we made $3.96. So we did go backwards on this, so would not buy this again. It was a long sale. This is something that we've had in our eBay store pretty much since we started. I just wanted to take what we could get for it, get it out so it's not in our inventory. We made some money on it. So even though we took a loss on this, it did sell. It is now leaving. So I'm happy with that. Next is some Nintendo DS games. Again, these both sold on Macari. So on this one right here, we paid $6 for these. Buyer all in plus shipping was at $15.99. So we made $13.70 on these. So let's pack them up and ship them out. It's the next day and we had something sell. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what that is. All right, guys, here it is. It is a DJI little camera bag. I picked this up at the Goodwill. We paid $7.99 for this. The buyer all in was at $26.67 and that's with shipping. So we made $11.36 on this bag. We had it for a little bit, not a long time, but I'm glad to see it go. So let's get it packed up and shipped out. It's Monday, y'all. We had a couple sales come in over the weekend, so let's jump to that and I'll show you what sold. Here are the two items that sold this weekend, starting with a Fossil purse. This sold on Macari. We paid $5 for it at an estate sale. The buyer all in was at $12 and we made a $10.01 on this. This is a sale from our main eBay store. We paid $6.60 for these. These are a pair of cool hiking pants. The buyer all in on these was $41.47. So we made $23.23 on these. So let's pack it up, get it shipped out. All right, guys, it's a new day. We did have 2 more sales come in. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what those are. All right, here is the 2 items that sold. We had a Mobile One racing hat sale on Depop. We didn't pay anything from that. This came from a big lot at with Elizabeth that we did get, that she was like, hey, just come in, whatever's left. If you want it, you can have it. This was in that big lot. The buyer all in on that one is $15.99 and we made $14.80 on this one. Now, this one right here, it is a Travel Corinthians Communion Kit. The 3-piece Silverstone blacks with the Silverstone blacks case. I'll open it so you guys can see it. This is what it looks like. This right here, we paid $2 for this at a TNT estate sale. The buyer in on that one is $18.55, and we made $7.49 on that one. Now both of these, what the buyer paid does include shipping, so let's get it packed up and shipped out. All right guys, it's another day and another sale. Let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what we sold overnight. Here is the item that sold last night. This thing is super cool. We picked this up at a Four Seasons estate sale. We paid $9.99 for it. Buyer all in on this one plus shipping, don't forget, is $62.74. So on this jacket right here, we made $37.11. Not too bad. So you know the drill. Time to pack it up, ship it out. It's a new day and we have another sale. This sale came from Depop, so let me flip the camera around and I'll show you guys what sold. Is the item that sold. I remember we picked this up when we went to one of our trips with Elle. When she was working at the barn to a horse show. Picked this up at a Goodwill. We paid $7.99 for the bag. Buyer all in plus shipping was $7.99. I believe we took an offer on this. So we made $5.06 on this bag. Now, this is one of those things that where we're not a storage unit. Yeah, we may have took a little bit of loss on it, but it's out the door. We know not to buy that product again. So live and learn. It's just part of resale. So let's get this thing packed up, shipped out. All right guys, another weekend has passed and we do have some sales that came through over the weekend. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what sold. All right, here is what sold over the weekend. Going through some numbers with you, we had some of these Cool Bright sale. We paid $2.50 for these at a moving sale, which was awesome. The nannies that were there, I'll never forget them. So we paid $2.50. This sold on eBay. Buyer all in plus shipping was $12.04. We made $12.04. Buyer all in plus shipping was $22.15 on these lights. The next one is a WWE, some DVDs. We paid $1 for these. Buyer all in plus shipping was $5.50 and we made $4.46. This sold on Macari. Moving on, here is a single stitch vintage Galveston t-shirt. We paid $2 for it. This sold on eBay. Buyer all in was plus shipping $21.16, so we made $10.50 on that one. Another one here is a Speedo windbreaker jacket. It sold on Depop for us. We picked this up from Elizabeth at Four Seasons, so shout out to her for that. That was something that she did give to us, so we paid nothing for that. Buyer all in was $12.78. We made $11.59 on that. So let's get it packed up, shipped out. Okay, it's another day and we have another sale that came in overnight. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you guys what sold. Here is what sold. It is a pair of tennis shorts. We paid $3.99 for these. The buyer all in on eBay was at $14.55. So we made $5.82 on this. So let's get it packed up, shipped out. All right guys, it's another day and we had two more sales come in overnight. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you guys what sold. Here are the two items that sold overnight. We had a lot of 3 Nike belts that we picked up from the bins. We paid 50 cents for all 3. The buyer all in plus shipping on Depop was $13.89 and we made $4.87 on these. Next we have Wrangler's vintage shirt that we picked up at an estate sale. We paid $2 for the shirt. Buyer all in on eBay paid $24.99 and we made $23.36 on this item. So let's get them packed up and shipped out.